Jokes turned into nasty insults, failed lip syncs, meltdowns, and fights. Watch the cringiest moments that are so bad that we actually want to watch them again. Hi, I'm Dylan, and here are the top cringiest RuPaul moments RuVealed. The Drag Race history has memories of a few bad-tempered contestants, but none of them were as shady as Lady MacBitch. Yup, we're talking about Shakespeare's play Lady MacBitch in Season 7. So, was it the usual Macbeth curse so the team were destined to lose, or was it a reality show setup? Well, to begin with, the adaptation of MacBitch didn't make much sense in comparison to the other team's Romeo and Juliet play. Plus, the final cut that made it to the viewers looks like it was made to look worse with the montage, to, add some extra drama to the show. It almost feels like the team was destined to fail from the very beginning. It is a reality show after all, so it's fine that some parts were staged, but geez, Jasmine Masters wasn't faking it for sure. It was so bad and cringy that we loved it! The pause before Pearl gets up is priceless. Though the performance was pretty bad, it made us laugh a lot. Well, Ru himself probably doesn't share the same opinion.
FYI for all of you girls up there, I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses. Be prepared.
We didn't have time to re-rehearse.
Make it work. Make it work.
Yep, RuPaul doesn't welcome the excuses. And if you come unprepared, bye, Felicia. That's exactly what happened to Season 9's ultimate favorite, Valentina. Even though at that point she was doing drag for only 10 months, she slayed the runway each time with her killer looks. It was such a fascinating accomplishment for such an inexperienced queen. Unfortunately, her success went straight to her head, and poor Valentina and her self-confidence ruined the game. It seems like she was so sure she wouldn't end up at the bottom lip-syncing for her life that she didn't learn the lyrics to the song. Mama Ru had to stop the performance because Valentina wouldn't take her mask off, in a desperate attempt to hide that she didn't know the words. It was a truly disappointing moment for both RuPaul and the audience. Unfortunately, it wasn't the only moment that made us cringe in our chairs. Snatch Game probably holds the palm branch when it comes to failed performances. It requires not only humor, but also creativity and a great talent for witty impersonations. No wonder so many contestants fail at it. But Kenya Michels' impersonation of Beyonce was probably the most memorable and unfortunately not in the most pleasant way. We'd already seen Tyra Sanchez try and pull off a Queen Bee impersonation and failing dismally in Season 2. Seems like Beyonce impersonations don't work on RuPaul at all. In a desperate attempt to season up her play with some humor, Kenya was jumping all over the other contestants. She fell from the chair singing a line from Beyonce's song I'm a Survivor. But the tiny giggle from the audience didn't save the situation.
I'm a survivor! I'm a survivor! She's a survivor.
Beyonce's not-so-flawless impression made us cringe once again in Season 10, with Asia O'Hara's impersonation that, turned out a bit too harsh. Well, we still love each and every one of the girls, and as they say, all heroes may have their down points after all. And speaking of the heroes, Alaska Thunderfuck always gives 5,000% when it comes to drag. She was slaying the challenges every single time and delivered flawless runway performances. The closer the Final Four Judgment Day was coming, the more was at stake for Alaska. She couldn't let all of her hard work disappear, so in a desperate attempt, she even offered money to other contestants so that they wouldn't eliminate her. I'll give you $10,000 if you let me stay before taxes. I'll transfer it to you via PayPal because I need to stay in this competition. I need to be in the Final Four, she said. Even though she was safe afterwards and managed to accept her behavior and laugh about it, her meltdown stayed in our minds for a long time. The fear of losing is a common thing, especially when you've come so far already. But Mimi Imfurst took it to the next level back in Season 3. When Mimi and India Farah ended up in the bottom 2 lip-syncing for their lives, Mimi was afraid that the judges wouldn't appreciate her skills and tried to block India to make sure she was not stealing her limelight. Of course, such behavior is not what judges are looking for, but Mimi made it worse by lifting India onto her back. Of course, India got scared and cried for help. Ru had no other choice but to eliminate Mimi. But we hope that the two managed to reconcile. Mama Ru made a hilarious jab at the situation a couple of years later during the Season 9 finale. She picked a guest from the audience to vacate a seat for Pork Chop, and that guest turned out to be India Farah. When she refused to leave, Ru asked for security to help her, and it turned out to be Mimi, who once again lifted India up and carried her away. We hope the two can finally laugh about it, but we aren't so sure that Jocelyn Fox can do the same if she ever meets Cher. It'll be so awkward. In season 6, RuPaul decided to test the ladies' abilities in show hosting, so they invited Cher's mom and son as respondents. It's safe to say that it was a super important task, because like Bianca Del Rio said, you don't want to be that queen that pissed off Cher's family. Hello? Trying to balance between being witty and funny is no easy task, and Jocelyn went in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, her jokes were not to the point, and the whole cold opener was a bit insensitive.
Now, if it weren't for a last-minute decision at the abortion clinic, the world wouldn't have known Cher. Are you pro-life? Has your stance changed at all throughout your lifetime?
Or Jocelyn just pushed it too hard. While overplaying is often the case for the contestants, sometimes they play it too safe. We're talking about Silky Nutmeg Ganache and Nina West's lip sync. Some contestants get hyped up and get more energetic because of the adrenaline coming from the fear of elimination. Others find it hard to concentrate and unfortunately get lost. Perhaps Silky and Nina got too tired from the moment and Mama Ru didn't like the performance. The meh made the moment iconic for ages. The poor girls were a bit stiff on stage and didn't move much. In fact, the two faced backlash on the internet, with many fans claiming that no matter how much they love each girl, that episode should have ended with a double elimination. The same situation happened to Pearl versus Miss Fame lip-syncing Demi Lovato. The poor girls just got confused and couldn't get it back together, or maybe didn't find enough time to prepare. Well, as the roast has proven, preparation is not the only constituent needed for success. It's not easy to come up with some good roasting sets, but it's even harder adding decent punchlines to it. Poor Farrah had to roast Michelle Visage, but instead ended up saying facts and forgot about the punches. Pheromone is always fascinating on the runway, but unfortunately, the only moaning the audience was doing this time was out of embarrassment. Though some fans didn't find it that bad. In fact, there's a fan-made video of Farrah's roast with edited laughter that makes her performance somewhat tolerable. This once again proves the power of montage and editing in reality shows. The same fate befell Alexis Michel's performance the same night.
We normally save the best for last, but in this case, we had to settle for Alexis Michel.
Somehow the roast turned out to be mean. It kind of felt like all tea, all shade, and that probably doesn't work well on the judges. Fans also commented on Alexis's bad padding. The color was all wrong.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been real. Good night, everybody.
This is not a happy ending.
Well, all we can say is congratulations to the queens, because no matter what, they made it to the show and slayed not only the runway, but our hearts too. What's your favorite cringe moment from RuPaul's Drag Race? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and sashay away. But as always, stay awesome.